Pay attention to workaholics. Your spouse may be suffering from loneliness. So what about retirees? After retirement, we looked into whether people felt more lonely and found that some retirees felt more lonely. This was usually the case with people who had a tendency to feel lonelier. In other words, it means that people who do not know how to interact with people other than work feel lonelier when they retire. It is easy to fall in love, but it is very difficult to maintain. The relationships that may relieve loneliness the most are romantic relationships and close friends. Let's take a look at each one. And let's also find out why hard work is being so neglected in each relationship. So far, a great deal of research has been done on why some relationships are stable, while others are not. The high divorce and separation rates in the United States are well known. The most recent survey revealed that about 39% of all couples are divorced or separated. But living together is not the whole point. According to research analysis from Harvard University, marriage itself has only a 2% impact on subjective happiness in the second half of their lives. What is more important for health and happiness is the satisfaction you feel in a relationship. But the secret to happiness is not falling in love. It is to maintain that love. Psychologists say that in order to maintain love, you must have a partnership. In other words, you need a less dependent and stable affection and a love based on mutual understanding and commitment. You may have been a little disappointed with partner love. I was like that when I first heard this expression. It was disappointing to have a partnership after putting in a lot of effort to win the love of my wife-to-be. But after living together for 30 years, my husband and I did not just love each other. We also like each other. My wife loves each other uniformly, but she is also my best friend. The reason why partner love brings true happiness is that it is rooted in friendship. Passionate love, which relies on rational attraction, generally does not last beyond the stage of a relationship's new beginning. On the contrary, partner love relies on familiarity. Before the happiness study, a researcher summarized the rationale couples who consider their spouse their best friend are found to enjoy much more of the benefits of a happy marriage. This is the kind of love that survives crises and lasts for many years, and it leads to a happy and healthy life. After college, I married later, and I remained married for 44 years until my father passed away at the age of 6. However, having a spouse or lover as your only friend is as unwise as investing heavily in remote areas. This is because if something happens in a marriage, you are left alone and nobody is gone. This often happens when a couple gets divorced or a spouse dies. So adults are aware of this problem as they get older and try to build friendships other than the spouse. Women do the job well. Women have wider and more intimate friendships than men, and form very female-centered networks. Older women rarely regard men as friends except for their husbands. Only 1/5 of older women list men as their best friends. If you are a middle-aged husband, you should understand the situation in which a wife looks out for friends. The bond formed by marriage is more emotionally important to men than to older women as they get older. It is because for many men they were driving away the ensuing friendship. And the friends who have it are more interested in work, for example golf, than emotion. On the other hand, they have invested their time and effort in other places for emotional satisfaction, which is actually a wise attitude. Some people try to build close bonds around their adult children as they get older. Somehow, children are the relationships in which we have invested the most effort. They know us well, and we know them well. When I look at my children, I feel like I'm looking into my soul in my 20s. So isn't it natural that they become my best friends as I get older? But maybe not. I have noticed that most of my adult conflicts with my children are due to bad memories I have with them. My parents were good parents. But I wanted independence. My father's only true friend was my mother. My father is an introvert, so I couldn't create a close friend. So my mother was the least resistant way to being a spouse and best friend. So you two were happily married. Having some separate space was important to me. It's not because I hate intimate relationships, but because I wanted to build my own life. And my children are similar to me. Our relationship is very good. But they are focusing on him, not my life. And that is normal. Some studies show that the number of contacts with friends who are not blood relatives has a much deeper correlation to mental health than the number of contacts with adult children during these holidays. Two scholars said about friendship. When interactions with family members are often driven by a sense of duty, interactions with friends are basically motivated by pleasure. Do you have real friends or contract friends? How about you? Do you have real friends or only contract friends? This has a huge impact on your happiness.